This morning, a desperate search and rescue operation continues across 6 U.S. states to look for survivors in a series of tornadoes that have killed dozens of people. It appears that Mayfield, Kentucky is the city hit hardest by the disaster, but there are similar scenes of devastation across hundreds of miles from Mississippi to Illinois. Disaster agencies say it's still too early to determine a precise death toll, but the governor of Kentucky now fears that as many as 100 people have died in his state alone. And the series of deadly tornadoes hit late Friday night. You can see a map there on your screen. More than 30 twisters touched down in Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois. Reporter Madeline Rivera says the many people killed include lakeside vacationers in Tennessee, nursing home residents in Arkansas, and candle workers in Kentucky.
Emergency teams are working around the clock, sifting through the debris in the hopes of finding more survivors. Kentucky, one of the hardest hit after a tornado touched down there for more than 200 miles. This was the scene in Mayfield. Nearly everything in the storm's path completely leveled, leaving the tiny city almost unrecognizable.
Got here in the hallway and we got down over our dogs and we were both praying. Praying. And that's the only part that didn't fall down. So the good Lord heard our prayers.
The death toll across Kentucky is feared to be catastrophic. The governor declaring a state of emergency. At least 6 workers were killed in Illinois after parts of this Amazon warehouse collapsed. That number could grow as search teams look for people still trapped under the rubble.
Families say goodbye in a routine fashion when their loved ones go off to their jobs. We don't think that they'll never come home. It's devastating, and I cannot imagine the pain that you are feeling.
And in Arkansas, one person died after a tornado tore through this nursing home. Drone footage showed widespread damage all over town. President Biden says he's been in touch with state governors about providing federal assistance.
It's a tragedy, and we still don't know how many lives are lost or the full extent of the damage.
A fund connected with the state of Kentucky has been established to help with recovery efforts and the victims' families. In Mayfield, Kentucky, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Many emergency workers and volunteers here in the Bay Area are already providing help and support to the victims of these devastating tornadoes. They're working the phones as they closely monitor the widespread destruction across 6 U.S. states. They're planning to send disaster response teams to some of the hardest hit areas. The Red Cross also wants everyone in the Bay Area to know there's now an urgent need for blood donations.
With a disaster like this, it often means that blood drives are canceled in local areas where they're no longer able to hold those blood drives. So it may impact the blood supply, and it's already in a critical shortage time over the holiday season.
The Red Cross says a complete list of its donation sites here in the Bay Area is available on its website, redcross.org.